In 2023, the FBI ranked Lewiston, Maine as one of the safest cities in America. Not because people were lucky, but because neighbors knew each other. Because doors stayed unlocked. Because trust was the currency of daily life. On October 25th, 2023, that all changed. 18 people were killed. 13 more were wounded. But this documentary is not just about what happened that night. It is about every single warning sign that came before it, and every institution that looked away. Because they knew. The Army knew. The police knew. The system knew. And tonight, so will you. Wednesday, October 25th, 6:56 p.m. At Just In Time Recreation in Lewiston, it is youth night. Families are doing what families do, cheering for their kids, sharing nachos, arguing about bowling form. Bob Violette, 76 years old, has coached kids here for years. He is the kind of man who remembers every student's name, who stays late, who shows up early. When the gunman entered wearing a brown hoodie, carrying a Ruger SFAR rifle, Bob Violette did not run. He moved toward the shooter to protect the children behind him. He gave his life doing what he did every Wednesday, showing up for others. He was the first of 18. 4 miles away, at Shemingee's Bar and Grill, a different community was gathered. The deaf community of Lewiston came here regularly. That night, it was a cornhole tournament, the kind of evening people look forward to all week. Joseph Walker, the bar manager, saw the gunman enter. He did not have a weapon. He grabbed a kitchen knife and he charged. Not out of recklessness, out of love for the people behind him. Joseph Walker was killed. 18 people in under 20 minutes. Each one a son, a daughter, a parent, a coach, a friend. Each one a reason to ask, how did we get here? Within the hour, 50,000 residents of the Lewiston-Auburn area were ordered to stay inside. Schools locked, businesses shuttered, streets emptied. For 48 hours, Maine held its breath. The suspect, Robert Card, a 40-year-old Army Reserve firearms instructor, had vanished. Law enforcement knew what they were dealing with. Card had extensive survival training, land navigation expertise. He knew these woods. For 2 days, the question wasn't just where he was, it was what would happen next. On October 27th, officers found him, deceased, at a recycling facility where he had previously worked. The manhunt was over, but for 18 families, a different kind of search was just beginning. This is where the story becomes an investigation. In the summer of 2023, months before the shooting, Robert Card's fellow Army Reservists filed formal reports expressing serious concern about his mental state. According to those reports, Card had told colleagues he was hearing voices. He made specific, targeted threats, naming the bowling alley and the bar, the exact locations he later attacked. He was sent to a military medical facility at West Point, held for 14 days under psychiatric evaluation. He was released, and he went home with his weapons. Maine has what is called a yellow flag law. Unlike most states' red flag laws, Maine's version requires a doctor's assessment before police can petition to remove someone's firearms. After Card's release, a Saginaw County Sheriff's deputy visited him, spoke to him, noted concerns. But the legal threshold, the paperwork, the process, was never fully triggered.
The Army had the reports. Local police had the visit. The state had the law. But the information never flowed between them fast enough. This was not one person failing. This was a system failing, in slow motion, across multiple agencies over multiple months. And that is the conversation America needs to have. The challenge with most interagency threat cases is that each institution operates inside its own legal framework. Without a mandatory, integrated reporting standard, warnings stay siloed.
Lewiston did not break. In the days after, thousands gathered, not just to mourn, but to insist. To say these 18 lives meant something, and that meaning demands action, not just grief. Bob Violette, Joseph Walker, and 16 others, each with a story that deserved a different ending. The questions this case raises are not comfortable ones. When does a warning become a legal obligation? Who is responsible when multiple agencies each do part of their job, but not enough? These are not political questions. They are human ones. Maine has since launched a formal inquiry into the systemic failures surrounding this case. We will continue to follow it. If you want to go deeper, we have linked the Commission's public report in the description below. Because the most powerful thing you can do after watching this is understand it well enough to talk about it. Dedicated to the 18 lives lost in Lewiston, Maine, and to every community that deserves better from the systems built to protect them.